Today I fucked up by creating a special handshake with my daughter, NSFW. This is an ongoing today I fucked up. I am actively looking for ways to end it. My daughter is 3. She is the light of my life, and all that. Because she isn't much for drinking or golf, I have had to find activities we both enjoy to pass the day. This means we spend a great deal of time watching movies. My favorite is E.T. And I figured she'd love it too. Wrong. E.T. is terrifying to a little girl. In an effort to make E.T. fun, I taught her the fingertip touch ouch thing, and then we watched that scene a few times in a row. It went well, and now E.T. no longer scares her. Win. She has held onto the fingertip touch and it has taken on a life its own, a bit like a not at all secret handshake for us. We always do it before she goes to sleep. Her, puts out finger. Me, touches finger ouch. Super cute, right? Well, she has now taken to doing it anywhere, at any time. It became pretty annoying, and when I tried to curb the frequency of it, I was met with disaster. Last weekend we were at the mall when she announced loudly in a quiet jewelry store that she was going to give me the finger. A little embarrassing, but not too bad. I told her that she can't say it like that because the finger sometimes means nothing bad. She nods, understanding, and the moment passes. A few days later, at dinner with my in-laws, the handshake returns to the forefront of her mind. Mid-meal, she says, finger. Oh no, wait, that's bad. She then thinks for a moment and screams, Daddy, finger me. If I could have turned into a flock of birds and flown away forever, I would have. My in-laws turn bright red and stare at her. I immediately say, no, that's not what it's called. My daughter doubles down, yes. Finger me. Ouch. Remember? Ouch. I nearly passed out. We are now trying to rebrand the handshake as ET and ouch because Jesus Christ, I can't take her anywhere. Too long didn't read. My toddler desperately wants me to go to prison. Edit. Holy hell, y'all, never have I ever had so many people delight in my personal disaster. I am flattered, honored, and rolling in awards. I am finally an award-winning individual. You should try adding some new secret handshakes, so that she will eventually lose this one. All kids fall for new and shiny stuff at some point. Deleted. This reminds me of when I would blow air in my son's face when he was being too loud to startle him so I could ask him not to yell. One time I did this and he said, "Don't blow me, Dad." And I didn't do that, ever again. What about the air thing on his face, or did you stop that too? She is the light of my life, and all that. I have never seen a sentence that screams Dad more than this. Because she isn't much for drinking or golf, I have had to find activities we both enjoy to pass the day. This one got me good. I'm dying. Finger me. Ouch. Damn man, you have to throw the whole daughter away now. Today I fucked up by not knowing about sunblock expiration dates. I applied SPF 100 sports spray every hour, give or take, for roughly 4 hours. I was hanging out at the lake and at slightly higher elevations, so the water reflection and elevation probably increased the damage. I pretty much had no idea that I had a problem until I scratched an itch on my back and it hurt really bad. I considered for a split second that I had a burn, but like an idiot, I rationalized it as sunblock burned the broken skin from the scratch. The blisters formed by the next day and I started reading the can to see if I missed something about applying it. I found the customer service number and called it. Before talking to anyone, I heard a recording tell me that the FDA doesn't require expiration dates on sunblock and to consider it expired after 3 years. This bottle was easily 4 to 5 years old. I had no clue. I went to the doc and got some amazing medicated gauze and they sent me home with pain meds after cleaning the burn off and showing everyone in the building. It was easily one of the most painful things I have ever experienced. Except when my tank top straps got dried to my blisters on my shoulders and became part of the blister scabs overnight. Trying to pull them off was almost blackout pain. I soaked in a tub for a while until they basically melted off. This was preventable sunblock expires, please check yours and make sure you store it according to the instructions. NSFL. Edit I want to clear up, I'm naturally, very pale person, I was at high altitude while on and in the water. I do not blame anyone but myself for this. Whether expired or I stored it incorrectly, whatever it was my own fault. I should have been careful with making sure the things I used to protect my skin were being used as they should have been. I agree that all sunblock should have expiration dates, I just don't blame anyone but myself for my lack of due diligence. This isn't a chemical burn, just a bad burn on skin that rarely sees the sun with a few contributing circumstances that made it worse. I'm not planning to sue anyone, although I appreciate and understand why it is being suggested. I just want people to have all the information to protect their skin. Be safe. Skin cancer is a real danger. Too long didn't read, sunblock expires. This is hurting me. I'm sorry. That looks beyond painful. That brings back painful memories. I learned the hard way too. I now buy new sunblock the beginning of every year. Holy fuck. As I clicked the picture I thought, I'm pale, I've had a pretty bad sunburn, and then it loaded. That is one fierce tan. Glad you're on the road to recovery. My brother got a very similar burn at the beach a couple years ago. He'd wake up almost crying from the pain and downed ibuprofen like candy for a couple weeks. There was some scarring from his skin sloughing off, but that faded over time. Make sure you get your annual skin cancer checks and feel better soon. Today I fucked up by telling my grown-ass college students what contraceptives are at a conservative Christian university. I'm a grad student teaching freshman English courses at a conservative Christian university. At the end of the semester, my students have to present a slideshow proposing a change they think would make the world better. One of my students, Stephen /, asked if he could make his slideshow about safe sex education being made mandatory in all public high schools. Me, not even sure if I was allowed to approve a topic in favor of rampant and unchecked fornication among the youths of America, eventually told him to go for it, warning him that he'd have to be very careful about what he put in his slideshow, considering his topic. The day of Stephen's presentation arrives. He marches to the front and begins his slideshow, entitled The Case for Contraceptives. It's fucking great. He tells a story about bees, who, if they want to get some sweet nectar from flowers without spreading any of their pollen around, need to learn to wear little booties on their feet. I laughed through the whole thing and then turned to the class to discuss the presentation's effectiveness. But several students had blank expressions. Finally, one of the students, Goober /, this student and his nickname is Pure Gold, but that's another story, raised his hand and said, Ms. Holt /, what's a contraceptive? I started to smile but stopped as I realized he was serious. I paused and remembered my life before college, shuttled in a bubble between homeschooling and church and youth group. We had a brief discussion about contraceptives then and there. The next day, my classroom behavior was put under review by my boss and my boss's boss, and I was warned I was under unofficial probation. Everyone at this university signs up as an at-will employee, meaning we can be fired at any time for any reason. / names changed to protect the guilty. Too long didn't read, I nearly lose my job at a conservative Christian university after explaining what contraceptives are to a few of my confused students. Edit, many people are asking why I choose to work at such an institution. I'll ask myself the same question until I graduate and leave. But in the meantime, I love my students, and I'll keep trying to crack open their brains like my homeschooled Christian brain was cracked open when I first went to college. Also, several people have messaged me asking me if I go to their school, and they've named so many different schools. Uck. This is America. I'm appalled that you're getting in trouble for this. It's actually kind of disturbing. Thank you for trying to teach your students. I hope they did more good research on the internet, because obviously no one else is allowed to teach them. Wow, how dare you educate as a teacher, lol. I get it's a Christian university, but you're an educator. If a kid asks a question, you give them the info you can. Well, I hope they don't fire you, you did nothing wrong at all. When my private Christian high school wanted me to explain to them why I was no longer going to a private Christian institution for college, this is the shit I remember happening for 4 years in high school. My private Christian high school literally printed out 400 to 500 V cards and handed every single high school student a card. Some of us started acting like our fingers were burning, some threw them away. I gave mine to my lady friend and said, "Here, now we can stop worrying about being caught. You've taken my V card.